Several weeks ago, Steve from Plug and Play EV pointed out a British Petroleum build at a travel center of America outside of Portland. And he was able to figure out with not only permitting but site plans, and I'll show what that looks like in just a second. Earlier this week, I started to notice PIPs in the state of Texas and also in Pennsylvania that are at TA locations. The one in Pennsylvania have been there quite a while. They were submitted for NEVI funding, and those are still waiting final approval. But PA does seem to be releasing NEVI funds because we're seeing builds at NEVI sites, at least for pilot. I'm seeing about 3 PIPs for pilot NEVI sites in Pennsylvania actually starting to be under construction. So assumingly those are going to get started here pretty soon. But someone in the state of Texas started to put in PIPs out there as well, referencing permits that have been filed. And I looked at it, and the permits were from earlier this year. So I was just kind of making a mental note. Okay, so there's some TA centers in Texas that are getting had some permits filed earlier this year, but there didn't seem to be any activity. And then I found something that was a little bit more crystallizing. But before I go to that, let's just quickly talk about who BP is. I did a video not too long ago about Shell Oil, which is one of the largest companies on the planet, pulling in a fourth of $1 trillion a year in revenue. British Petroleum is headquartered also in London. Here's a picture of their headquarter building at 1 St. James Square, Westminster, London. And they're not far behind Shell as far as the revenues they pull in. They pull in about 1/5 of $1 trillion every year in revenue. So gargantuanly large amount of cash flow going through the company. They own Travel Centers of America, and they've outfitted their North American headquarters in Houston with a charging hub. But the Travel Centers of America didn't really seem to be moving forward. That has definitely changed. Let me show you what I was looking at. So here is what Steve found outside of Portland. And the associated documents, here's the site plan that I'm referring to, and let me zoom this in a little bit. You can see over here it says proposed Tesla supercharger cabinet, 2 of them, and then 8 stalls of Tesla superchargers. So it's 1 cabinet for 4 stalls is the typical numbers that they use. Is 1 Tesla supercharger cabinet paired with 4 Tesla supercharger pedestals. And 2 Alphatronic HYC400s, so that's 4 additional stalls for a total of 12 stalls, 4 of which are CCS1, 8 of which are J3400, right next to the building. So a beautiful plan, but there didn't seem to be any movement on that. And as I said, I was starting to see PIPs in Texas with reference to permits, but really nothing was going on. And then today, someone posted into this pilot location, and I have all the pilot locations listed in PlugShare as bookmarks, so anytime there's update activity, I could see it very quickly. They put it in the wrong place, and so I created a new PIP across the street where it should be, and this, I'll link all the PlugShare locations down below in the description. It's right across the street from the pilot. As you can see, we've got 6 Alphatronic hyperchargers planted in the ground of a parking lot of a Travel Center of America in St. Augustine, Florida, off Interstate 95. So this is no longer theory. These are real hardware in the ground. I don't know how far along it is to the implementation, but those are ready to be energized, and it just depends on how soon they're going to be getting their transformer. Might be open by Christmas, might be open by Thanksgiving, don't really know. But surely sometime soon. They're already got their wrappings for BP Pulse on them. These are the very characteristic Alphatronic hyperchargers that we've seen elsewhere. And there's 6 dual handled for a total of 12 stalls. So the news is that this is occurring. The battle of the truck stops has begun. And as we go into 2025, we're going to be looking at Pilot, Loves, and Travel Centers of America kind of duking it out for interstate EV charging stations. And Loves is privately owned. One of their owners just recently passed away. It is not a company that has, $250 billion at their disposal in revenues. It's a privately run company. So they're more circumspect with the implementation of their charging stations. BP Pulse apparently has opened their very large checkbook and has started to purchase both hardware from Tesla directly and from Alphatronic, and started to actually plant these things in the parking lot of their Travel Centers of America throughout the United States. So, the explosion of DC fast charger implementation continues, and who knows who's going to be next, but I'm sure we're going to find more and more people throwing their hat in the ring, because once one of these dominoes start to fall, more and more of them start to fall. And pretty soon, just about every convenience store, truck stop brand, and other forms of retail are going to start putting in DC fast charge. But anyway, BP Pulse is now officially begun their Travel Centers of America build. Thanks for watching.